Alrighty, what is up, people of the internet? Uh, Welcome to what is pretty much going to be a review. I actually already did one at one point. It just ended up being that it did not save, so or the audio did not pop through. So here I am doing a secondary take of stuff. So yeah, there it goes. So yeah, anyway, this is going to be a quote not so typical review of um, drink hydration, um, which is going to be particularly focused on the liquid IV, electro, and Gatorade. So I've had the opportunity to try all three, and effectively I'm going to go over the flavor, the effectiveness of hydration, and then also the uh, the costs, as well as perhaps more of the unintangibles, or the intangibles. There we go. So yeah, that is what is going to happen. I'm going to pause this really quick. So basically, the main thing with the different liquid IVs and liquid hydrations is that they're all, hydrating in their own remark. Suppose in a ranking system, I will say that Gatorade was sort of bottom of the barrel. Definitely not a terrible experience, just definitely also not the best, the best of the bunch, so to speak. So yeah, so effectively, the Gatorade was all right. I think the Gatorade itself tasted a bit like Gatorade, so I think there's an element of I have had Gatorade consistently throughout my life, even though I hadn't had it more recently when I had this. And when I did have it, it was, it was still Gatorade. It's tried and true to Gatorade. Just something to take into consideration that nostalgia might play into my grading of Gatorade, and then also the fact that I've had it consistently. So both two of those can be determining factors on effectively anything I say, which, even though they're on opposite sides of the spectrum, I think it's important to note. And then as far as it goes for the other two, so for electro and liquid IV, I will say that for the electro, that I have had I do have a bit of interest, so to speak, in terms of the I suppose the positive up-talking of it, because I do have an affiliate link connected to it, so something to consider while I talk about that. So yeah, to continue off of that, so Gatorade definitely I still put at last, just from an overarching narrative. I will say price to the, getting electrolytes, thing of that nature. You can't really beat the mass production that is Gatorade. As far as it goes for the as far as it goes for the others, for Liquid IV and Electro, I think they both sit at about somewhere between like $12.99 per pack, and and somewhere between like $16.99 or something like that. Oops. So yeah, something to consider. So yeah, with that being said, get into a bit more of the intangibles, being the well, flavor wise. So the flavors that I had for all three, it was the Glacier Cherry for Gatorade, it was lemon lime, and strawberry for whatchamacallit. Yeah. For Liquid IV. And then it was coconut lime and coconut lime and what's the last one? Coconut lime and strawberry apple, or crisp apple, for the Electro. So altogether, I will say that I'll tell you my personal opinion on which one's better of the two, and then just backtrack from there. So I think overarchingly, the Electro is better because you get the hydration side of things, where it's not necessarily a hydration multiplier. You do get the you do get the benefit of nitric oxide multiplication with the nitric oxide sort of recovery, so you can have both hydration and you can also have not only hydration, however, you can also have the benefit of nitric oxide, which is a bit of a recovery element. within the product, whereas with liquid IV, you're solely getting the hydration element versus the hydration element plus the hydration element plus the nitric oxide. Okay, break time on that. There's 10 minutes. So ultimately, it's one of those things where the actual, like, especially if you're drinking it during a game, which I presume people would be doing, is that you get that benefit of increased blood flow from the nitric oxide and electrolytes from only the electro, whereas you might get more hydration perhaps from the liquid IV. However, it won't actually like increase blood flow and, you know, help things stay circulating well, especially if your muscles are getting tight or whatever during a game. So that's something to consider for sure. And the link is in the bio for the electro if any of you all are interested. Flavor wise, I would say that overarchingly, you know, I think you can't go wrong with lemon lime. And, you know, I would say, honestly, between, you know, the glacier cherry is good with Gatorade. I think the lemon lime and the strawberry for the liquid IV were pretty good. Where, you know, if you're looking, I think there's, you know, I think the flavor is a bit of a wash between the liquid IV and the electro. You know, because one's coconut lime with crisp apple for the electro, and then strawberry and lemon lime for the two flavors of liquid IV. So I think it's all, because they're very pronounced, strawberry and lemon lime, and then the other one's a bit more nuanced. So I think where there could be like more flavor pow, so to speak, with the electro, then it's a trade-off for sort of the more nuanced flavors of the electro. You know, it's kind of like, perhaps like icing versus like whipped cream, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's something to consider. Overarchingly though, I just, from a purely function perspective, I definitely give it to the electro. Just because it's, you know, I think it's just better overall. And it's, yeah, I think it's just better overall and really allows for that mid-game, you know, athletic performance boost, and can really help with recovery in the meantime prior to after the game, and is even great for after the game. So you all can check this out. Yeah, there's plenty of things that I posted on, or there's a link in the bio. If you click on it, it's it says like supplements I recommend. You can click on that, search electro, and then cross compare that with liquid IV, and, you know, just go for your needs. I just wanted to provide a bit of insight into my thoughts on the matter. So hopefully it helps, and you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, pray on it. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. So peace.